Om Kala Bhairavaya Namaha. Om Hingulambikaya Namaha. Om Kamakyaya Namaha. Om Kala Kalaya Vidmahe. Kala Atitaya Dhimahi. Tannah Kala Bhairava Prachodayat. Om Hingule Paramahingule. Amritarupini Tanushakti Manashive Shri Hingulaya Namaha. Om Bambatukaya Apatudharanaya Kuru Kuru Batukaya Rim. Om Bhairavaya Namaha. Om Hingulambikaya Namaha. Namaskaram. Welcome to yet another video of Bhairava. Today we would be more talking about second Swaroopa of our ista Bhairava. So second Swaroopa is all about he coming in the form of Ruru Bhairava. So as the storyline continues in the same way, like Bhairava came into an existence after the killing the ego of Brahma. It's the same mythological story. Like to kill the Shiva actually took a Swarupa of a Bhairava to kill the arrogance and the ignorance of the Brahma. The fifth head when he chopped off. When he actually take the Kapala and he start roaming around the Kashi Kshetra for 12 years, it has been told like when the Bhairava has been Udbhava, he has been came into an existence. There were 8 chief, like we can call it as 8 um, great chief, great warriors, we can call it as actually like great mantri, we can call it as a mantri, were actually been activated, out of which was first was Asitanga Bhairava. I believe you have already gone through the last video. Let me just reiterate. In Ashitanga Bhairava, again 8 sub Bhairavas will come into a picture, like Ashitanga Bhairava, like Asitanga Bhairava, Arthanga Bhairava, Udbhakeshwara Bhairava, Krodha Bhairava, Vishalaksha Bhairava, Shulapanini Bhairava, Vijaya Bhairava, Jalandhara Bhairava. This Bhairava Swarupas as well as how they are connected, I have already given a clear details about that. So today we will start the discussion about Ruru Bhairava. In Ruru Bhairava, Ruru Bhairava, when he was activated, he ensured that actually he took care of the direction of a southeast. So it is also called as an Agni Tattva, or few of them actually also Ruru Bhairava is also been named as Guru Bhairava or Siddha Bhairava also. So basically Ruru Bhairava is associated, he has 8 subordinates are surrounding him who take care of a southwest, like Ruru Bhairava, Shankha Bhairava, Chamunda Bhairava, Krodha Bhairava, Kapardhika Bhairava, Pranava Bhairava, Siddha Bhairava, Guhyaksha Bhairava. See, here, to put it into a very simple way, just to tell you about the how exactly this journey started. It is about the Ruru Bhairava. We do not find a very specific information in many of the Tantra scriptures. However, especially it is in Rudrayamala Tantra, Bhairava Tantra, and Shakti Tantra. It is certain glimpse of information has been shared. But in Kaalikula Agama, there is one particular essence which has been articulated very clearly about how exactly Ruru Bhairava was overshadowed. It is being said in the Shakti Tantra that Bhairava, after taking over the situation of the Brahma, he also actually supported Kartikeya. How? It is also said that to destroy the Tarakasura, so he had took a boon from Shiva, and basically he was actually creating havoc in the Swarga Loka and all 3 lokas. He had a boon that actually, like Shiva Tattva, whoever get bonds from Shiva, he only will be the person who can destroy him or kill him. It has been told that at that point of time, Sati had left her body. Shiva was in complete penance. He was in a dhyana in for a more than 10,000 years, and devatas were been getting havok from Tarakasura. They did not know what to be done. At that time, it has been said that when even I believe you guys would be knowing about all these stories. It's like basically how Kartikeya Skanda Subramanya Swami came into a picture. Like he is also called Shanmuga, six faces, taken care of six Swarupa of Devi. Maybe in some other video I'll try to tell about Shanmuga Devata. However, once the Shanmuga had come into picture, there are two types of stories written in Shakti Tantra, and it is also written in, or we can call it as, it is also articulated in Kalika Agama, that when Tarakasura's um, Havok was on top of the universe, harmony was disturbed. Ruru Bhairava was a person who taught the Shanmuga about the knowledge. He was actually like knowledge, embodying the knowledge in the form of, he was a teacher to Shanmuga. It has been told like he is a teacher of a Shanmuga. He was a warrior of a teacher. He also embodied the wisdom, strength, how exactly he need to fight with Tarakasura. And there was a complete mystical tale where actually Tarakasura was been killed. So basically, like metaphor, what it goes is, it is like uh, Ruru Bhairava is a path of darkness. If anyone are in the path of a darkness, Ruru Bhairava emerges and he kills that ignorance. This is what actually it is being told. And as I told you, especially when Rudra, once the Bhairava is being activated in the Swaroopa, in the form of Rudra. Here, Kartikeya, when he was supported, he was also supported with Devi. It is also told like he was actually assisted by Maheshwari Devi. Maheshwari is like, we can call it as, it has been told like Maheshwari Devi was actually born from the heart of Adiparashakti. Like she was like 64 yoginis, out of which Maheshwari is one Swarupa, and she was activated from the heart of the Adiparashakti. And mm, this energy was also being profound for the wisdom. Maheshwari is also actually was part of the wisdom. Ruru Bhairava as well as Maheshwari Devi, they both actually met in the, we call it as like a, they are both are like a furious, any kind of a furious problems or furious solution, temporary solution, whatever we have it. They are the people who actually subside all those things. They basically are compassion towards us to ensure that whatever the problems we come across with the darkness of our life, they come into our picture. See, basically, we can also recite in the metaphor in such a way that uh, Ruru Bhairava is a masculine energy, or we call it as masculine force, and Shakti, feminine energy, Maheshwari Swarupi, subsided. They created the energy into a such a form that they, any kind of a strength, or ensuring a life flourishing, or the guidance which we needed, they are the people actually who support us. Whoever the sadhakas who are there in the Bhairava Aradhana, or if they have to Anushtana and they are doing a Nama Japa, or even the Sadhana Paddhati, it may be even Satvika, Rajasika, or Tamasika. Normally, for the knowledge to get enhanced, it may be Tantra Sadhana to get the knowledge of to the next extent. It is only Ruru Bhairava who will come into a picture and who embodies us and ensures that the cosmic information, whatever is there available in the cosmos, he will help us to get those information in one or the other way. See, basically in the Kalika Agamana, it has been written that when Ruru Bhairava as well as Maheshwari, actually they symbolizes like a knowledge as well as a compassion. They are integration of energy as well as a wisdom. Their balance is in such a way that without Ruru Bhairava or without Maheshwari, the knowledge would not be evolved. So basically, whenever we come into an knowledge information, it is always being told, even in any kind of a metaphor or any kind of a Puranas, that unless Shakti, Shiva is a Shava. So that is the reason we always ensure that whenever we do any kind of a Bhairava Aradhana, we ensure that we invoke Mata also. So here it is like we can call it like they are sun and moon, which balances the brilliance as well as the soothing light. Basically, they actually help us to ensure that we do not have any kind of a lack of any kind of an information. Okay, so basically, to put Ruru Bhairava, how exactly he is articulated in different scriptures context, especially in Rudramalaya Tantra. Rudramalaya Tantra, it tells that actually how Ruru Bhairava birth and purpose was came into existence, and also the which kind of direction from a Vastu perspective, southeast he takes care of. It is more clearly articulated in Rudramalaya Tantra. Rudramalaya Tantra is actually 112 ways of solutions given directly by Shiva to the Parvati. It is a discussion between Shiva as well as a Parvati. Maybe in one of a series I will surely let you know about that. But coming back to the scriptural context, there is in Bhairava Tantra, he is being detailedly articulated as a warrior nature. Okay, who is actually killing a demonic forces. See, if you go into the attire of the Bhairava, he looks like bluish. Okay, and his Vahana is um, ox. We call it as see. Let me just underline this. Every Bhairava Swarupa will not carry the Vahana as Swana or dog. Here, Ruru Bhairava actually has a Vahana of ox. Uh, we can call it like he holds a it's not an axe, it is actually like it's a weapon where Mauta, or we call it as a person who trains the elephant, will have that kind of a weapon. Basically, that is one weapon actually Bhairava will be holding. And we may also call it as Pashana also. Sometimes in some language it is also called. And other is Kapala. Kapala normal. It is always it is ensured that Kapala is being with him on his hand. And he also been portrayed in few of the scriptures that actually he's very furious, his eyes are very red, he is reddish. Again, let me just underline this. We here are talking more about from a Satvika Swarupa. In Satvika Swarupa, he actually is a divine of knowledge. Unless without him, there is no kind of tantric information which you may get into your life. If you are getting to know much more about the Bhairava Swarupa or any kind of a tantric rituals in your life, it is a grace of Ruru Bhairava. So basically, any kind of a demonic forces within us also which need to be killed. In Bhairava Tantra, it has been articulated. In Shakti Tantra, it is the it has been articulated like as I told you, Devi from Yogini Swarupa from Adi Shakti. When she came into existence, it is like a union of Ruru Bhairava as well as Maheshwari to ensure that the cosmic events are being taken care. Here in Shakti Tantra, it is all about how Devi's activation, how Maheshwari came into it, how actually what are the demons she was able to kill, how exactly she was a furious, how she was actually a part of a adipati of the knowledge, and how she was able to connect to the Bhairava. All these things actually are part of Shakti Tantra. Kaalikula Agama, it is actually a story, like I can call it as a interpreted story, which tells that how a masculine and a feminine energies are worshipped in the Tantra practice. So it gives more about tamasic as well as which types of rituals, as well as Rajasika, very less. Satvika, here very less informations are there provided in this particular scriptures. And just to give you a more insight of into the Swarupa, it is also believed that there was a situation like when Brahma's ignorance was chopped off. At the same time, actually, it is also been said in one of scriptures that especially like when the Lord Krishna, I believe you know Maha, Maha Krishna. Krishna actually he had a one son called as in Chamba. Out of he was actually a person who was hawk to his family, and he was a person who made him to realize of his Vadukula was actually one deteriorated because of him. He was a son of Jambavati, and Shamba actually had asked to provide a Sudarshana Chakra to Lord Krishna in a Vishnu Swarupa, and when he actually told like it would not be appropriate to have the Sudarshana Chakra with him, that's when actually Shambhu or Shamba actually made a prayer such that actually he invoked Ruru Bhairava. And with the help of Ruru Bhairava, he was able to manifest Shiva, Parama Shiva, and he was able to get the Trishula to actually even. There is again a big mythological story which comes in Krishna Purana or Bhagavat Purana, where actually how exactly Krishna actually got his own family members, Shambha, Sham, how exactly he was able to attack him. So basically, it has been told like Ruru Bhairava was a person who taught him about the knowledge how to get connected to Paramashiva. It is not that actually how to go into the fight between his father. No, it is basically to invoke the knowledge. So basically, it is individual about each sadhakas how exactly they are going to hold the energy. The energy may be in the form of you can make that converted into to improve your life. One, you can orient that particular essence of energy to enhance your perception, your knowledge. Material benefit is just a simple first step. Foremost thing for any sadhakas would be a salvation, vimochaka. So basically we tell like this. But once Ruru Bhairava comes into one's life of any sadhakas in the Maharudra form, the particular sadhaka will ensure that they will be out of the uh, ignorance. The knowledge would be poured upon us. He will also pull out any kind of a attachment which is there within us, which is actually causing for the growth of the our spiritual journey, and also he any kind of a negative attributions or illusions we have it during a sadhana paddhati, he will ensure that all those things are being removed. See, basically, Ruru Bhairava, we devote him, or he once he comes into our life, it is an all about external wisdom, knowledge, mental flexibility, or any kind of information which is existent as this cosmos. He is the person who come into the picture. As I told you, he is in the form of Guru Bhairava. So that's all about the Ruru Bhairava. But let me just give you like his 8 subforms of Ruru Bhairava. See, basically, Ruru Bhairava, his tattva is Agni, southeast. He is taking care of a southeast. Even it has been told, like one who actually do a puja of Bhairava at any kind of a home or any kind of an sadhana has been done, the 8 dishas of the home, the Bhairava Swarupa will be activated, especially southeast here in Agni Tattva. Female of the family will be benefited out of it. Their health will improve. Reason is actually once the fire is activated, automatically lot of problems which is related to the southeast. It is a direction of the females also. We call it as a Shukra. Automatically it has been activated, and the female at the house will be having a lot of benefits. To talk about the attributes, one who pray to the Ruru Bhairava, automatically he will ensure that any kind of a destroying of an obstacles, or he will any kind of a destructions in your path of sadhana, he will take care that it will is being destroyed. He has been resembled, or he has been portrayed as he is a powerful as well as a furious Swarupa. He protects every sadhakas who are in the Bhairava sadhana paddhati. We have one of a very famous temple of Ruru Bhairava, along with all the eight Swarupas. It is told that actually Digbandhan of all the eight Swarupas has been done at Ratnagirishwara temple. It is in Tamil Nadu, Tirumangal, Tirumangalai, or Tirumangal, or Tirumangalai it is called as. So basically here all the eight Swarupas of Ruru Bhairava is Ashtadigbandhana has been done, and he is in the form of Rudra here. Next comes the Shankha Bhairava. Shankha Bhairava is actually, he takes care the tattva of air. So we call it as like once Shankha Bhairava is an activated associated with Ruru Bhairava, he pours the sadhakas the knowledgeable information. Swiftly he will ensure that he will move our karmas. He will destroy sadhakas ignorance in the life. He will ensure that actually your attachment towards or ignorance towards any kind of about any kind of a material, physical or emotional, he will ensure that it is removed. He will pour such a lot of information into us that actually we get to know more about Bhairava, Tantra, the way his mantra need to be invoked, how the sadhana paddhati need to be done. This is actually Shankha Bhairava will come into a picture, because air is actually which will make you lift up in even in a tattva perspective. Once air is actually being activated or air is being available, it will become very light. Normally we will go upside. He is also been called as Vayu Bhairava. In many places he is also called as Vayu Bhairava. And I think that there are certain temples even in north, especially in the place of Madhya Pradesh, where actually Vayu Bhairava has been prayed, and even few places in the Gujarat also. The next comes Chamunda Bhairava. Chamunda Bhairava is about Kala. He is a time. He is actually take care of a time. Any kind of a sadhakas, in the sadhana paddhati, if they are, once the Ruru Bhairava is activated in association with the Chamunda Bhairava, he will ensure that the time of that sadhaka will be taken care. He will ensure that the Kala is been handled. He ensures that actually any kind of an destroying of an evil around us, and even anyone talking abusing or talking against any kind of a dharma, not normally, automatically the fire get activated and you will try to actually uh, speak more about dharma. So he is also being called as a protector of dharma. His temples are, I can tell, like Kala Kala Bhairava is in Swaroopa, also in Kashi. He's also resides as a Kotwala. But there are certain temples in Odisha as well as West Bengal who is being prayed as in Chamunda Swaroopa, especially in Durga Kali Puja, in one of a yogini way or yogini Swarupas. His one of a Swarupa is Chamunda Swarupa. Next comes about a Krodhaka Bhairava, very close connected to me. I'll tell you the reason why he is very close. Krodha Bhairava is a person once who comes into your life with, once a Ruru Bhairava is activated and Krodha Bhairava is taking over your spiritual journey, any kind of angerness in your life, Krodha, he will just suck up. He will just eliminate everything that Krodha. He will ensure that actually the tatastha bhava, or whatever we call it as, the settlement of the knowledge, information, he will ensure to take care. Here, Krodha Bhairava has been associated. He also been associated all three tattvas. As I am trying to give the metaphor of all the three of them, in Satvika Swarupa, he is actually, as I told you, he will eliminate all your ignorance. Okay, any kind of ignorance from us in the form of angerness. Unnecessarily we get some anger. He will ignore it. In Tamasika, it is called like he is a terrifying Swarupa, wrathful of Swarupa, or we can call it as any kind of a destroying of enemies, Stambhana, Vashikarana. All these things actually Krodha Bhairava has been activated. Even in Rajasika also, but still, let's talk more about Satvika one. And here he is one of the Rudra. form of a Rudra, Krodha Bhairava. Many places, especially in the rural part of the India, especially in Tamil Nadu as well as in Karnataka and Andhra, many rural places, he is being prayed like Rudra. In the name of Rudra, he is being prayed. Or simple, they will tell actually he is a Rudra Bhairava. Okay. The fifth form is actually Kapardhika Bhairava. Kapardhika, as it is name tells, Kapardhika is actually a, we can call it as not the Kapala. Kapardhika is like actually we can call it as the Adipati of the knowledge. Okay. Once he is activated, once the Ruru Bhairava along with Kapardhika Bhairava is activated, our Jalatattva is being more. He takes care of our Jalatattva. It is also told that even in Tattva, it is also told like Panchabhutas resides in our hand, especially the little finger is called Jala. Okay, so once, as you also know that actually the 70% of our existence in this universe or within our body is also being um, taken over, or it is potent, that Jalatattva is active. So it is told like once the Ruru Bhairava is activated, defaultly or without your knowledge, Kapardhika Bhairava is activated with you. He will give you like a calmness in your sadhana paddhati. He will give you a peacefulness in your sadhana paddhati. He will destroy of sufferings. One sadhakas, if they have a suffering, inner sufferings, it may be physical, mental, or emotional. All these three stages of suffering, Kapardhika Bhairava along with Ruru Bhairava will be able to eliminate that. He is normally being called as in many of the Swarupas. I do not find any kind of a particular temple which has been associated with Kapardhika Bhairava, but there are certain temple, especially which is I can call it as in Kashmiri Shaivism or Kashmiri Shaiva Tantra, one of a Swarupa where Kapardhika Bhairava is being prayed to initially to activate your calmness in your body. So before you sit to the meditation, you get him into your realm or into your um, this particular realm and get connected to the Bhairava. We can call it as actually before starting any kind of a meditation, calmness is very, very much important. That's where actually Kapardhika Bhairava will come into a activation to support to the sadhakas. Pranava Bhairava, the sixth Swarupa of the Bhairava. He is actually the Akashic Tattva. Basically, once he, with the help, once the Ruru Bhairava along with Pranava Bhairava is activated, Pranava is actually is also being associated with love. Okay, we can call it as Pranava is actually the ignorance, killing of the ignorance, all pervading. We can call it as for entire cosmos, any kind of internal love is there. It is a Pranava Bhairava. Because if you see from even from the Panchabhuta perspective, Akasha is very, 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 very huge. Okay, we call it as Akasha is limitless. So similar to that, Pranava Bhairava is actually like is a cosmos. He takes care the entire universal information which is really needed for the enhancement of this spiritual journey. He will be able to pour those. He is also, as I told you, all pervading. He is actually a person who is going to shed lot of information to the sadhakas. We will be having an illusion like it is me, I am trying to do this sadhana. It is because of my family members, or I am trying to do something. This is being destroyed by Pranava Bhairava. Bhairava is nothing but any kind of illusions, me, myself, if it comes into it, he will chop off. Okay. Basically, it is, he's also been, he's also been prayed. Pranava Bhairava is also being prayed by lot of Aghora. He is also been called as an Aghora Bhairava. Any kind of Nagas Baba or Aghora Bhairava, Aghora Bhairava, Aghoras or Aghora Bhairavas, they normally do a puja of Pranava Bhairava here in the form of Ruru Bhairava. They may call it like Ruru Bhairava. Once he is activated with the help of Pranava Bhairava only, he has been um, he has been Pujyam. He has been Pujyam. So he is also an aghora tattva. He actually teaches us very tamasika way of knowledge, especially how to be in the cremation ground, smashana paddhati. He also teaches us from in the Swarupa of Aghora Bhairava. And that's actually like tamasika as well as a rajika rajasika type of knowledge information. But here in a satvika, I would like to preside more about he being a akashika tattva. He pours a cosmic information into the sadhaka's life. The seventh is actually Siddha Bhairava. Siddha is about stability. We call it as a stability. Siddha is about the uh, the the first information which comes into the life. So any time when the Ruru Bhairava is activated along with Siddha Bhairava, it is about the earth element, Prithvi Tattva is being activated. It is about once the sadhaka is is in the process of sadhana paddhati, he will achieve a perfection in it. He will be able to attain the accomplishment. He will be able to attain his inner desires fulfillment, or we can call it as material desires. It is also be fulfilled. All this happens only because once the Ruru Bhairava along with Siddha Bhairava is activated. Here actually I would like to disclose one of the information. Maybe it has not been articulated anywhere in the scriptures, but in Rudra Bhairava Tantra, or even um, especially one of a scripture, even my guru had told this information that Siddha Bhairava is a Swaroopa of Adi Yogi. So whatever we do a puja today of Adi Yogi, he is actually being also called as the first yogi of the Shiva Swarupa. Or it is also told like Shiva came into an existence like Siddha Bhairava because he knows everything, anything, everything in entire this cosmos, to make it as more perfection, to make ourselves into a better as what we are today. The Prithvi Tattva is very much needed. That's where actually Adi Yogi will come into a picture. He is also actually in Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Adi Yogi Swarupa has also been spoken, where actually 112 ways of sadhana paddhati is also being told. Basically, all this starts with the material desires fulfillment, but later on it will go take us to the salvation. But Siddha Bhairava is the seventh Swarupa of our discussion today. The last is about Guhyaksha Bhairava. Here, actually, Guhyaksha Bhairava is actually, we can call it as even the word talks, it is about the darkness, okay, andhakara, or the darkness in the human's life. Any sadhakas whose life is in a darkness, once a Ruru Bhairava has been activated along with the Guhyaksha Bhairava, any kind of a darkness in that sadhaka's life will be removed. It is also being told like Guheshwara is also one of the word where actually it is about mysterious, secret information, or we call it as actually the information which is not being disclosed to the outer world. So Gupta, or we call it as in the Gupta way, it has been kept. So it is he is that is the reason he is in the form of Guheshwara Bhairava. He actually kills the ignorance, destroys the any kind of an ignorance of the sadhakas, and any kind of a mysterious secret information which is being available in the cosmos. He will be able to decode it or encode it into information capsules to the sadhakas. Here, I can say that actually here he is also one of a Swarupa of Mahakala. Okay, Mahakala Swarupa. So once a sadhaka start praying to the Mahakala, automatically lot of secretal information which is there around you, which is not being known to the external world, you will start realizing those. Maybe many of the sadhakas, even if you take my own example, when I started actually praying to Mahakala in my without my knowledge, when I started reciting his name as Jai Mahakala for all the things, whenever I used to start my day, end my day, in kind of any kind of a medium of an activity, if I start performing, it may be my bread and butter activity of office job, or it may be a disclosure information whenever I'm sharing to the sadhakas, or any kind of a sadhana paddhati or any kind of a diksha information sharing to my closed connects. That time I always used to recite about Mahakala, Jai Mahakala. I always used to wonder like how exactly there are a lot of information which I am able to grasp it, how I am not able to get this information, or other person who is along with me who is doing a sadhana is not able to get it. Ideally, it is about Guheshwara Bhairava. Once you start praying Bhairava, Mahakala Bhairava, Bhairava Swaroopa of Ruru Bhairava in the form of Ruru Bhairava, Guheshwara Bhairava has been activated. So that's how he is being prayed. So to activate him into our life, as I told you, Nama Japa, daily chanting his mantra is very simple way to activate him. My only request to all my viewers of the video is please start with Satvika Swarupa. See, we really do know the terrain of or the tremendous ups and downs or the implications of Rajasika and Satvika way of it. Because as I told you, even in my first video also, they are the sadhana paddhati. That is also a one type of sadhana paddhati, but you require a guru diksha, and guru um, he need to actually take us to that particular path, or we will not be able to get the hold of that energy. To put it into a metaphor, let me tell you, once we are as an enlightened, getting enlightened soul, we are like a 10 watts bulb. Bhairava, once he comes into us, doing a Nama Japa of Om Bhairavaya Namaha is actually going to be a 20 watts, such that actually this 10 watts will be able to enhance its energy from 10 to 20. Once actually a particular Swarupa is been activated, we tell like actually Batuka Bhairava. Batuka Bhairava is 100 because all 8 forms of Bhairava is being associated into the Batuka Bhairava. He will ensure that actually from 20 you get enhanced to your limitations to the 100. Again, each Bhairava is like making specialization of each particular sadhana paddhati. It may be Ashitanga, it may be Ruru, or other more 6 forms of Bhairava. It is always been told it need to be started with the Satvika way of it. Okay, and Satvika is also like energizing yourself to the higher realm. Okay, for Ruru Bhairava, it's Om Ruru Bhairavaya Namaha. Simple. It's a simple Namasmarane which can be done by any sadhakas. But before that, a simple Bhairava Swarupa. As I told you, these are the stages which every sadhakas need to do. Or else if someone comes and tell me that actually I am directly going to do the sadhana of Ruru Bhairava with this Mula Mantra, or we normally just to I'm not supposed to recite, but I really don't know why I'm trying to recite this. Om Bham Bhagavate Rudraya Maha Bhairavaya Jum Hum Fat Swaha is actually Mula Mantra. This mantra, I'm trying to just give you information that such mantras, even in it should not be recited casually, because he once actually this particular mantra has been invited, you are invoking him into your life, and you are supposed to give offerings to him in such a way that actually you get the outcome of it in a proper way. So that is the reason I always tell, start with Nama Japa, Mula Mantra, Gayatri Mantra, and there are tantric ways of mantras which we do it even in Satvika, which were not supposed to be done unless a Guru Diksha. And as I told, Rajasika, Tamasika, it's like the syllabus of um, master degrees. Okay, once you actually ensure your grounds, your knowledge is up to lift, you have been doing your sadhakas to minimum 5 to 6 years of Satvika Swarupa, then you can initially start your sadhana paddhati into a different realm. So in 15 years of sadhana paddhati, normally it took a lot of time even to me to actually form an energy of any kind of a Shiva Swarupa. So with that note, I take a leave today. Next time when we are talking, we will come out with one more Swarupa of Bhairava, where we will talk more about sadhana paddhati, how exactly that Swaroopa is going to come into our life and how exactly he is going to help us to enhance our life into a better way. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. Om Kala Kalaya Vidmahe Kalatitaya Dhimahi Tannah Kala Bhairava Prachodayat. Om Hingule Paramahingule Amritarupini Tanushakti Manashive Shri Hingulaya Namaha. Klim Klim Kamakhya Klim Klim Namaha. Om Bambatukaya Apatudharanaya Kuru Kuru Patukaya Rim. Om Bhairavaya Namaha. Om Kamakhya Namaha. Om Hingulambikaya Namaha. Namaskaram.